So one of the things that you might want to be able to do when undertaking due diligence for a nature-based solutions project is to identify the risks of non-permanence. So there are a number of different risks to consider, but in this video we are going to look at the risk of drought. So that's what this workflow here is showing us. So on the map we have an output which shows us the number of years in which drought occurred since 1981. So the maximum from the legend is 3, so only 3 years, with 0 being the lightest, 1 and 2 being the next two colours. So we can see this for the whole of Cambodia, but then we're also cross-referencing that with our project areas that we have smaller here. And so we've mapped out the number of years drought was experienced since 1981. And then if we go to the dashboard, we can see the area for each of the different project sites that has been impacted by drought. So this is the average area that's impacted by drought since 1981. So I think for these particular projects, given that 1981 is about 40 years worth of data, only 3 years being in drought is potentially a low risk. We could adjust this workflow to look at this on an annual basis, so we could see the timing of those droughts, and it might be that these droughts occur more frequently. So in order to run this workflow yourself, I'm going to clear the map to begin with, and I'm going to clear the workspace. So to do this yourself, for your own project areas, if you first go to Add Area, and then if you upload a polygon, so I'm going to choose a particular location in Brazil. I then go to Load Project, and then I want to select Template Project from the top right hand side. And then in the search bar I can search for drought. And we can see that we have a template project for drought risk. So if we open that and load without areas, this will produce an output. This will basically allow us to produce an output for this area. So I am going to press run. So we have outputs now loading up onto the map. Obviously this location is a lot smaller than previously with in Cambodia, but by looking at the legend we can see that since 1981 really there's only been one area that has experienced drought since 1981. So this area is potentially not at risk of drought. That doesn't necessarily surprise me. This is a location in the Amazon. However, we can see that basically the entirety of the location is impacted by drought. It was impacted by drought in that area. Again, compared to Cambodia and the project sites, this one is much smaller. So basically, by using historical data on precipitation, we've been able to determine what the kind of mean amount of rainfall per year is, and then look at the annual precipitation and see whether it's below 75% of the average, and then count the number of years that kind of threshold was exceeded to determine how often this particular location has experienced drought. So I hope you find that useful in terms of identifying one particular risk for non-permanence. Thank you very much.